Hi guys, it's Paula from PSE Creations. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. It's been a while that I've done a flip through. It's actually been a while that I've been crafting, to be honest with you. But we had started this book a while ago, actually. I started it, and I decided just to take it slow and finish it up. And now I'm just going to do a flip through. So this book is a travel themed book, I guess I will say it. I used a hardback vintage book that was called Who Travels There, and I did something slightly different. I did a hidden spine. I've never done a hidden spine before, so it was my first time doing one. So yeah, I was excited to be able to try that. And will I do it again? Maybe. It wasn't that it was hard. It was just different. So I guess if I do it more consistently, then I will potentially enjoy the process. Again, not that it was hard. I thought that the process that I followed was very easy. I don't know. There's just something about it. So, anyways, neither here nor there. Let me tell you a little bit about the book. It has 2 signatures sewn in here, and it has a closure that is removable. It is a silky closure. I this was given to me as part of like something I purchased, and the stuff that I purchased was tied with this, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's silky. I don't think it's silk. I don't think it's sari silk. Could be sari silk, maybe. But this is the only thing that I had left, so I went ahead and used it. I do have a bull pin here with a key. We can say that it's a key to a vehicle, maybe. And again, like I said, a hidden spine. And let me tell you how much, what the book measures. Like I said, removable. It's not attached. The tie. I feel like I'm out of practice of doing videos too, so I apologize. It measures a little under 8 inches by probably about 5 4/4, and I believe the spine's about an inch width. So again, 2 signatures. Total pages is 88 pages, front and back. 2 signatures. Yeah, let's get started on the flip through. So I kept the original inside of the cover. I did add this floral vintage fabric to the spine, and the back, again, I kept. And here's the floral vintage. Now you'll see a little bit of muslin here because originally I wasn't going to do a hidden spine, and then I decided I was going to do a hidden spine, and just the fabric that I cut that is attached to the spine part wasn't enough to cover it all. It doesn't look bad though. You can see here, it doesn't look bad. So the first page is vintage music sheet, and of course, you know, I enjoy making my junk mailer pockets. So here is a large junk mailer pocket. Decorated the outside of the pocket with just some scraps of paper and some like washi sticker ephemera that I have. And you'll see that the theme of the book is travel, obviously, but I also kind of stuck to specific colors just to go with like the green that was part of the book itself, and maybe the burgundy. I think I did more green though. Anyhow, this is a journaling card that I made. Used a recycled food container, added some vintage stamps here, some scraps of paper, a little piece of a doily, and then I sewed all the way around and then inked. This would be great if like you want to use it as a summer journal, just to document some of maybe the things you do over the summer. Maybe you don't travel outside of your area. Maybe you are like me and you may take a day off and go to the lake, or, you know, go kayaking or canoeing not too far from your house. Those are all options that are great. So this music sheet had writing on it, and I didn't go in and erase them. Somebody obviously was learning music and they used the music, so I just left the markings on there. They have coffee dyed paper, and I did do a lot of travel themed stamps by Airmail por Avion, which I think is that I think that's Italian or French. Yeah. Then here I just added some clear like photo corners, and this is a postcard of a bridge and a sailboat, again travel themed. Oh, you can see the little, oh, look at that. There's our sun, my ring light. And this one was actually written on, it says December 19th, and I cannot, 77 I think it is, maybe either 67 or 77. So it's not extremely old, but it's nice. And it just goes in right here in these corners right here. Maybe you don't want the postcard there. Maybe you want something else. You can just put it there as long as it fits the corners. And that is on a vintage dictionary page. On this side, I took an old map. And I just have the paper clip here. But you can take the paper clip off. It's an itty bitty paper clip. And I have this just little tab here that's kind of working as a little closure. And it's just a piece of map that I washi taped down so you can write on here. Oh, sorry, let me just, there we go. You can write on there and then fold it back up. It's like this little secret writing spot. And like I said, I did have it paper clip just to help it stay in place, but you don't need to. It's not going to go anywhere. Oh my goodness. This is why people just, when they do flip throughs, they just flip through and organize everything afterwards. Okay, coffee dyed paper. Here is some dictionary page, but it's a smaller dictionary. Coffee filter pockets and with some stamps. And this is just some reproduction little ephemera paper. And this is a map of Minnesota. I think it's a transient map. It's Minnesota and Michigan. So again, I thought it was cool. I thought you can use it for something. A little pocket there. And on this side, I made a journaling card using a vintage map. So this is manila folder and then some vintage trim that I cut up from a larger piece of vintage trim, and I just used the scraps as a topper from my tag. And then this was just a stamp that I had, and I just stamped it on a little piece of the manila folder that was left, and then I cut it out looking like a postage, and I posted it right there. This is from a book. They're skiing, so when you travel, sometimes maybe you go skiing. This is a vintage book. You can see that it was sewn in with thread. Coffee dyed paper. This is just a page from like a comic book, but it was a vintage comic book from the 1970s. So again, I just thought I love the coloring. There's some dogs. Here I added one of my book page clusters, happy moments that I made. And this is just a reproduction invoice that I folded up in here. National Geographic's vintage map piece. Coffee dyed paper. This is the middle of the first signature. Okay. And then we have the same pages here. This is again another National Geographic's, the other side of it. This is it was a Pago comic book. Book that had comics. Here is a little bicycle charm on a ball pin. Vintage lace sewn onto the page. Coffee dyed paper, the book page. Here's another little stamp that's airmail. And coffee dyed paper. Lots of writing room in here. I don't regret that because you know I love adding writing space, but it also gives you an opportunity that if you want to be creative yourself, you can add more to this journal as well, aside from what I've included as part of it. This is that trim that I was talking about where it was actually longer. So I cut off that edge here and I made it into like a ruffle. It's like a border trim. This is a vintage dictionary page. Coffee dyed paper. This is a Tim Holtz, like Market Street Railway Company, like a punch card. and I just sewed it on the bottom and the side, and I made it a side tuck. And this is a vintage map, and I made it into a tag. And then the second signature, so this is the end of the first. Like I said, remember there is writing on the pages of this music sheet. The second signature, so this was like the first page of the book, and I wanted to use it. So what I did is I actually glued it on to one of those Pago book pages. And here you can see the trim, by the way, that I used, the fabric that I used. So plenty of room to grow the journal too. Anyhow, I made this into a pocket. I just took this page from the book. I cut off the end where it was sewn into the book. And I just liked it. I liked how it looked. It's part of the front, inner and back of the book cover itself, but I loved how it looked, so I made it into a little pocket here. And this, again, just used a vintage map, made it into a journaling card. Coffee dyed paper. Here's, now they're climbing the mountain instead of skiing. What is it called when you climb the mountain? I thought I had a name. Like, it's not just climbing the mountain. I thought it was like something else because you're using the picks and stuff. Anyhow, some people vacation that way. Here's another one of my book page clusters, and I added a bunch of little washi stickers that are travel related, some vintage postcards, and here's another tag made out of the vintage map page. And here is another ball pin charm. This one is a boat. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe. There we go. It's a boat. Dictionary page. And here is another one of my, so it's like the signature, another one of my mailer pockets, but this is a top loading instead of side loading. And I just made a large tag. This is a piece from a map. And I added a vintage stamp here, and then I stamped airmail, sewed all the way around, and inked it. And then here I just collaged a little bit. This is a vintage stamp as well. It's actually, if you feel it, it's 3-dimensional. It's like embossed, I guess. And then just a few stamps here. So some stamp right here. This is National Geographic's map. So there are different maps here. So this is a different map than this map here. They're all vintage. And then I think, this is a different map as well. So they're all different vintage maps that I used. Give me a second. Sometimes you just have to correct stuff because maybe you missed something. Obviously I missed adding glue to this. And since we can't keep it that way, we catch it now, and now it's good to go. That's not going to come off again. All right. This is, I didn't add anything here, but this is one of those Tim Holtz. This is a piece from a Tim Holtz collection. Maybe he has a travel collection. I don't know. I bought them a very long time ago, and usually I don't do travel journals, so I never use them. And of course, it made sense to use them now, but I just made a little tuck is what I'm trying to say here. So if you had like a little something or another that you want to add there, it's a little tuck. And then the rest can be used for writing space. Here's another stamp, Washington, D.C., May 20th, 5:30 p.m., 1938. This is a dictionary page. I think it's a kid's dictionary page, if I remember correctly, from the book, from the 1970s. Here's a music sheet. This is the middle of the signature. We have our coffee filter, and we have another map tag. Here I added a vintage stamp that still had part of the envelope. This is from República de Venezuela. So that's cool. Let's make sure we're focused. On this side, it's another one of the Tim Holtz ephemera pieces. And here I have a postcard. Again, it's a bridge going into the city, cars, traveling. That's kind of where I took it from. This one's not used. It's the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. I just feel like you can do a lot with postcards if you wanted to as well. So just keep that in mind. Coffee dyed paper. Here's another stamp. The dictionary page. Here's the National Geographic's map page. Here's a little bit of a silky trim that I had, and I just cut a piece of it and made it into a little cluster just to add a little bit of texture. This is a dictionary page, and what I did was I took a piece of the map and I made a pocket on this page here of the map. Using the map on this page, I made a pocket. It is backed with something to give it stability, like a very thin manila folder. So it's stable. There's thickness to it. And then I thought, well, what if we just wrap this around and made this a little side pocket? And that's what I did. So this is just I took a scrap of the manila folder that I had been using to make my tags and stuff. And I just put some dyed lined paper, sewed all the way around, and then just collaged and added some stamps. And this is a vintage stamp as well from Budapest. No, Dutch. I'm not sure the year. But it goes right here. See? Yay. And then this is another postcard. This is the Mackinac Bridge. I don't know where that's at. It looked like it had a stamp here, so it was mailed, but it wasn't written on, or maybe it wasn't mailed. Somebody just put a stamp there, but can you see the residue? It does look like it's an older postcard, but again, oh, it's a Upper and Lower Peninsula of Michigan, the bridge. So there's no year, but anyhow, that will be right there. Coffee dyed paper, a music sheet. This was another, I had like a bunch of stamps that I had purchased, of vintage stamps, and this just so happened to be a piece of the envelope that was in that where they paid 3D, and it has the stamp, Great Britain, 1950 something. I can't make the last number out. January 9th maybe, or June 9th, or July 9th. But anyways, I inked the edges. This is authentic. It's not a copy of it. And then I just glued it down. Didn't even make it an uptuck or anything. I was going to, but I said, why? And then you can decorate more off of it. Here is the last page. Yes, the last page. And this is, again, that one comic strip book that I had. If you see the agent on it, I mean, it's the color of it is just amazing. And then this is another map. I just added it with a paper clip. And this is Missouri and Mississippi. And I guess these are the, cities and towns right here. Okay. So there you have it. And that is the flip through of this little travel themed junk journal that I made. If you're interested in this, please check out my website. I will have that shown right here or down here. You can also check the description box. The link to the website will be there, as well as the link to my Whatnot Market, because I will have it cross-posted should you be interested in it. Like I said, I think this is a cool little summer, journal to capture all the fun you have over the summer, or any time really. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and if you have any questions or comments or anything along that line, please leave them in the description. Jeez Louise. Please leave them in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.